Hey, what up?
Hey,
We are back. It's Alex, the fantasy football hustler, back at you.
aloha.
My bad.
No, Nelson Times and Hollywood Collie with ya.
Yes. Bogard scot-free on fire like Maui.
Yeah.
That's too early?
Ugh.
It's too early. Aloha.
Hope that's getting better over there.
I
It's
know,
out
man.
now, right?
I love Maui.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, that shit's crazy, bro. And I think it started with this grande tree, like this legendary tree. And I've been by that tree. There's like a tree and it like interweaves with like this town square and all these other trees. It's hella crazy. And they designed it, like they trimmed it nice where it's almost like an overhang over this part of the city. And yeah, that thing caught a blaze.
Emil didn't like your joke. He said, we laughed, but he said bad joke.
Yeah, it's the only joke. I just said that on an earlier show today. I was like, I only have bad jokes.
And shout out to Stranger. What he said the second year guys looking what the rookie and second year guys looking like the rest of the league is in trouble. And I saw Jordan Battle making a couple plays out there. Hell yeah. And Chris Bay, what up?
What up, Chris Bay? Yeah, there was a big old
Hey, Chris Bay.
House. What up?
Christian Watson was about to catch this big old nasty one, and then out of nowhere swoops in Dax Hill. Wow.
Yep, that was the one.
I was like, okay.
Get ready.
Okay. Big Dax in this thing.
This is our last episode before we are doing it. All of us live in Vegas. It's all the way live, baby. We're going to be doing Vegas vacation next week. It's going to be awesome.
Can you feel the love?
It is going to be awesome. What up, Chaotic?
Feel it in the air.
It's going to be awesome.
Today. So we've gone through a high school football movie,
What?
a football movie, two college movies.
You got to go in
and now a kids movie. You went Pee-wee now.
Yeah, you got to go in order. We went from the NFL or from the professionals,
yeah,
to the pros, right?
Yep.
To colleges,
yep,
high school.
Yep.
Now we're in the Pee-wees. Let's go.
You're clever,
We
Alex.
went back to college and now back to Pee-wees.
But that's the thing, though, is I don't think that he necessarily made it happen like that. I think
Yes, he did. He did. Come on,
universe.
now.
It was the
What was
universe.
born yesterday, Bogey.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, that's by design. That can't be. But he just happened to. His pants just happened to fall down by accident.
Because we are going to the
banana.
We are going to the replacements at one point, so we.
Yeah, that's all the way back. That's the when the pendulum.
Okay. I see it. I see it.
And shout out to Ghost Monkey Nick. We'll see you next week. We'll see you.
Ghost Monkey Nick. I never heard of him.
Oh yeah, he's been in the chat.
He's very elusive. You know what I mean?
Very elusive. Oh, it's one of those guys.
He's a ghost. He's a ghost monkey.
Now, a little backstory. We are breaking down Little Giants today, 1994 classic. Oh man, it was one of my favorites growing up. Almost 2 hours, $20 million budget. They almost broke even in the box office. Probably considered a big loss to them, just not coming up over budget. But man, this is a cult classic. Like this one is one of those
that is
never die.
Just by the numbers, it is a loss, Alex.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. For sure.
Yeah. So,
that's only
numbers don't lie.
How much did they pay Ed O'Neill for this?
Yeah, his he's got some
I need 12 million of this.
He's got some question marks next to his name on how much he got paid.
Yeah, probably $2 million, huh?
Probably.
Oh no, 1994.
He was big shit in the 90s at that point.
This is Al Bundy we're talking about here.
Yeah. This is
4
touchdowns.
I don't think he got $2 million a film though. I would say maybe 1.3.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm just saying.
I wonder how much Fox was paying him. He might have got more doing this movie than Fox was giving him for all we fucking know. You know what I mean?
What kind of residual check do you think he gets for this? It's like a 25-cent one, maybe $1. Can he get some Taco Bell with the residual
for
check?
This?
Ed O'Neill's getting money for Married with Children syndication for years, I'm sure. That shit was on everything.
Yeah, I'm talking about this one specifically.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not getting my checks. I'll tell you that. I'm getting checks, but I'm not getting checks like that.
So,
Big Tones.
This all starts off in Ohio, in Urbania, my town. That's what he calls it. 1964. We don't really know what's going on here and who we're seeing in the beginning, but and we find out we're meeting young Danny and young Kevin O'Shea and Danny O'Shea.
I knew right away, even though I didn't know the film, never heard of the film. I knew that was Moranis and O'Neill's characters because they just had to be.
Got the small little scrawny kid with the glasses. For sure, that's Rick Moranis. And then you got the kid that's just a little bit bigger. He's head and shoulders bigger than his brother. We don't even know how many years different they are.
Yeah,
they're probably about 3. It looks like.
It's a big difference.
O'Neill's tall, Moranis is short. Like in real life, those guys, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think O'Neill's probably 6'2" or so.
And you can see it when they're face to face later in the movie. It's still very close to head and shoulders above him.
Wait, quick question. What do you think about Rick Moranis's characters? I find he plays the same characters, but he's compelling to watch because he plays the good kind of hapless type of character in all his films. He's not really a leading actor on his own, but he does well with the like a co-lead or whatever you say.
He's the sidekick.
Yeah,
for sure. Go all the way back to Ghostbusters, right? Like, yeah, he's great.
He did get a nap, but then he did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and he was the main guy. He still did get a nap, but this character.
Because what was he in Ghostbusters? The guy that wanted to be a Ghostbuster, right?
Yeah, he's like the nerdy neighbor. He's trying to hit on what's her name?
On the phone chick. The chick who answers the phones.
That was in number 2. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I haven't seen Ghostbusters in so fucking long. Classic, bro.
It was number 1 where he was right where was he in number 1? Can't remember. Maybe he wasn't. Can't remember. Either way, he did.
It was the first one, the one with the painting, right? That's the first one.
That's the second.
Okay, yeah, he was in the second one.
Yeah.
And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was another one of those classics where he was just, he's that same guy. This fucking pushover, fucking nerdy.
Can't wait to see you next week, Big Tons.
Yeah, Big Tons.
Yeah.
Don't lift me up and throw me across the room, okay? Because he said he would do that to me. Now that's actually our finishing move for a tag team.
The intro to the movie is really just Danny being an annoying little brother. How many touchdowns are you gonna throw me today, Kevin? And all this, and you can tell he doesn't want to have anything to do with him necessarily. He's probably like a 12-year-old, and he's like a 9 or an 8-year-old kid, not wanting to mess with him. Doesn't even pick his brother to be on his team.
Hell no.
But he picks his buddy Butz though. Like he always picks him first for everything.
Butz.
Been carrying him his whole life. When we finally catch up to him 30 years later. Living off his
like 24 years later.
Yeah,
it's 30 years later.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it's supposed to be 94. Yeah,
so it goes from 64 to 94, and what an asshole. That's the way he just starts. Danny starts trying to explain, and I'm just so good, kind of makes you look bad. This is supposed to cheer me up, and he was like, yeah. And he was like, it's not. He's like, see, I'm bad at something too. Man. And you can just tell, you can just feel for Danny. He's man, must be real sad if my own brother won't even pick me. And then he sees one of the girls, Patty, and she was like, "Are you not playing?" And then he starts doing the fake little limp. I'm on the injured list. The part that I don't get is why does Kevin say, "Hey, Danny, that water tower up there? One of these days is gonna say both of our names up there, buddy. You and me, we're gonna run this town." Nelson, you remember that part in the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
What was your thoughts on that?
I thought it was, he said his reason for saying was to placate him because he knows he was being a shitty brother. And then that was his, even when you have a character like in a film or a play and all this stuff, they'll still show like a snippet of the bright side of him, right?
Yeah.
Because you still want to hate him, but there's got to be something likable that you hate about him too.
Right.
So you just don't hate him. So that was like a brotherly love type of thing.
Yeah.
That's the way I got it. I'm a middle sibling, so I know what it's like to look up to an older sibling. I know what it's like to have the younger ones look up to me.
I'm a middle sibling.
That's what I got from that. Huh?
I'm a middle sibling as well. There's only 3 of us.
I thought you said I'm a male stripper. I go, what? You're a male?
I did say that.
I thought I heard you.
I mean, that's why when we were backstage, I was like, "Oh, this is what we're doing tonight."
All right.
It's an inside joke.
What do you think about all that, Bogey, in the beginning? Just the whole dynamic of their brotherhood.
It's probably. I think it was. I thought it was condescending.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. One day, look at this time. Like basically, you know what I mean? It'll be on there because of me.
Is this almost like he could almost run home and cry to his mom at this point? It's almost like he says that just so he won't hate him and run home to his mom and go cry about it. That's what I felt from it.
Also, too, maybe to be like when people look up to you too, you hold up an image if they think you're this great guy. You can't be like all of a sudden showing them their true colors. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It was disingenuous, but it was for to make his brother feel good, kind of. And he probably is young enough that he'd buy it.
Maybe, yeah. Now you didn't see this movie, right, Nelson? Before this first,
I never heard of it.
Never heard of it. There we go.
I never heard of it, man.
And
like Little Giants. I go PG Little Giants. I never heard of it. And then so please Moranis, O'Neill, okay, could be good. We'll see.
Pretty solid cast, at least with the top heaviness. And I know Bogey, it's crazy. Bogey never even saw this one either as a kid. And he said it was one of like his good friends, like best, like favorite movies. I love this movie as a kid. And so we get really no backstory except for that little clip. And that's it. And we're just supposed to understand everything about their entire dynamic, in which when it comes right to 30 years later, and now it's Al Bundy out there, and he's the coach of the little Cowboys, the Pop Warner Cowboys, and he's reaming into them. They got the drills going, and and then it's hilarious. You just see like a big ass tackle right off the bat. It's Lawrence Taylor tackle, just putting him on his back. And Al Bundy, we're just gonna keep calling him that, even though his name.
Yeah.
Oh baby, what a hit!
We had more NFL players showing up again. All these movies.
I feel like LT had to be
Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor was there again.
He was supposed to be in all these movies.
Yeah, for sure. They had to make some money, man. You already know how it goes.
Which brings me to my next point, children.
Don't smoke crack. Oh man! So she smashes them. Icebox, who we find out she
Icebox.
We got the reveal. It's a girl. I think they're all, what are they, like
11, tomboy.
11, 12, give or take, something like that. Pops Rudy, the fat guy, and you see it almost looks like it's blood on his head, but he takes it off and it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, she was called a tomboy, like a tomcat. Why is Tom always
a tomcat? So a tomboy is when they're boyish in nature, wear boy clothes and baggy stuff. That's they they kick with all the dudes and stuff. That's a tomboy. A tomcat is the ones that are promiscuous and they're real demons in the sack. Apparently, that's a tomcat. You know what I mean?
What's a John?
Shout out to all the tomcats out there.
Is it John through a tomcat?
You never saw Little Giants? Yeah, you never saw those.
I never saw it until I had to today, actually.
Yeah, so you had to labor through it.
What's funny too is
I heard that.
Backstage, I was just telling them before we started the show that my best friend till this day, this was his joint when we were kids, and I just never gave him a chance. But I remember it distinctively because like all the Disney movies were in like that. Remember that white case that's hella big?
Yeah.
The VHSs.
Yeah.
And then Little Giants came in a case like that. You know what I mean?
And Big Ten said the Mighty Ducks version of football. Very similar.
Yeah. Same time period.
Little ragtag bunch. These guys, and it all starts with the practice. Looks like a practice. We find out it's tryouts. They're going through all the drills. And they start doing the 40-yard dash. And Rad Tad, Simpson, and Rudy, like they do the 40 first, and it's like they're just so slow. They are so slow. You could just tell there's a difference of athleticism between them and then the guys who actually make the team. But one thing that's funny is we get a little callback. I guess it's just funny in the football movie, right? To have a wide receiver who we got them hit hot hand. Hanen is so mad. Like they throw him the ball, boots it, and then like you hear him, he goes and gives the ball back. And he's like, that's the fifth one he's booted today. Hands like frying pans.
Wow.
listed himself.
I've been saying that about bad catchers for hella long.
Yeah.
And it came from this movie. I must have missed that because when I was watching it too, I'm dealing with some crazy ass badass kids and shit. But this movie was funny. My son got into it lightweight too.
Nice.
Like, there you go. There you go, son.
There we go. And so he's throwing the ball, and of course it's funny. You see the look in Al Bundy's eyes, like taking him back to the heyday. Get to throw the ball again. And then when they're gonna actually pick the team, he gives this crazy speech. Apparently, he gives this speech so much that Icebox has the entire thing memorized.
I said mesmerized. Yeah, memorized. Yeah.
There's some things that I can bring back to this town. 3 high school championships, a collegiate title, an All-American title, and a Heisman Trophy. So Heisman Trophy winner. And I'm assuming Ohio State. That's what I'm guessing.
Ohio.
No, they don't give any kind of like college.
Yeah, they don't say.
I just assume.
But it's cool that it takes place in Ohio though, because that's where where football started for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These little,
in Ohio?
Yeah.
That's why the Hall of Fame is there.
Yeah, even the 49ers, like a lot of the OG teams, they were all created and started in Ohio. Like 49ers is one of them. They actually have an office still there, and it's like a big ass building. And because this guy from Cleveland that we used to do podcasts with, he was like, yeah, man. He was like, I have family that's Niner fans. I'm like, for real? But because it's part of
Literally,
I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know
Rock
that.
and Roll Hall of Fame's over there too.
Yeah.
Oh, what up, Big Draft Energy? Our man Disco. He said football started in Canada.
Yeah, basketball started in Canada too.
Amen.
Hockey as well. Lacrosse. There we go. What's going on? Americans stealing everything from Canada.
It's the American way.
It's all North America. What do you mean? We're all North America.
Yeah, now we're including, right. I was making fun of our accent. Not mine. I don't have it. But.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey, fuck yeah, she'll go.
We'll give you baseball, though. You got baseball.
What part of Canada?
It's actually the slap shot and stuff. That was invented. I think hockey was invented by black Nova Scotians. That's where I'm from.
Okay,
black Canadians invented hockey. I heard that on ESPN here in LA.
Nice.
Hey, listen, bro. Where's the thing?
I was like, what? Yeah.
Very nice.
So, what's your initial thoughts, Bogey, before we get into what happened at the end of their little tryout? Like, just seeing Al Bundy.
He's a sadist.
He totally is, right?
Yeah.
Big Tones, are you serious? I just read Tones' thing.
What do you say?
Shawna's like hot now? Or Shawna? Shawna is hot?
Somebody.
Waldron?
What,
yeah, I wondered about her. No,
I mean,
30 years later.
30 years older at this point, right?
Yeah, she was what, 64? She was like a kid, right? In 64?
94.
Yeah, 94. No, she's 30, so she's 40.
She's like mid-40s right now.
Is she hot in 40s? Come on, Big Tones. Really? Well, look her up. I gotta see this.
Come on. We were just talking about. I was just saying, like, when I was 20, I used to think women that was 30 was old. You know what I mean? And I used to be like, I'm taking down some old bitches, and they'd be like, how old? Like 30? Nah, that's not old. Like my homies that was 30, like, that's not old. Then I'm 30, and I'm like, you're right. That's not old. You know what I mean? Even I'm gonna be 39. I don't feel like that's old either.
What's the oldest you've been with, Bogey?
Like mid-30s when I was like late 20s. Because you know what it is too, is like you have to put yourself in those scenarios. Yeah. You have to put yourself in those scenarios. I was never at the bar or a club that frequents that age range. That's 40 and up. And then I've been with my girl forever, so who's older than me by only months. I mean,
so
counts though. You know, older women. I've been with older women my whole life.
At the end of tryouts, that's where we are now. After his big little hoorah speech, and man, in Pop Warner, all these kids are gonna play. That's something that I already knew, but just for the movie's sake, and because of being in like maybe a small ass town, maybe you can only have a certain amount of kids.
Yeah, you can only have one. Then that's the premise of this movie. You can only have but the one team.
Yeah. One sound, one team. That's what they kept saying.
Yeah.
Small ass. Hicktown in Ohio.
Now enter the underdog story of a lifetime.
Of course, Rad Tad Simpson, he doesn't get picked, and Rudy, they just didn't look good. Hot Hands Hayden, of course, like I mean,
shitty.
But the one that Icebox was the best one out there. Like every drill that they were doing, she was doing as good as everyone else, if not better. She even
she's a girl.
Yeah, even got the guy in the headlock when he was talking shit. So she's definitely tougher than most of the guys on the team right away. But she didn't get picked because she's a girl. Oh man.
I just checked her out. Tones is right. She's hot.
Yeah.
Very attractive.
Could you imagine, like, this kind of thing just would not fly today, 30 years later? A girl not being able to be picked just because she's a girl. It wouldn't fly. Would not fly in today's premise.
In today's movies?
Yeah, it just wouldn't fly. You'd have a whole bunch of people just talking mad shit, protesting the movie. No way. She's the best one out there and she doesn't get picked.
You see them in football now, but they're getting annihilated, though.
Yeah, no,
they can't hang with the men. They're too small.
I guess it's a yes and no. It just depends on what position you're playing. Because, like, in necessary roughness,
the kicker,
playing kicker, that would be possible. You're not going
That's
to take
true.
You're not going to take too many shots as a kicker. You probably are going to take some, but yeah, it's just a little bit different when it's, let's say, even a beefed up woman, maybe like 180, 190 pounds, going up against like a 250 pound linebacker or something. Like, yeah, it's just
okay. When you said beefed up, I automatically thought 240. That's beefed up. You can put her on the line.
Yeah, for sure.
But she wouldn't have the strength, but she could still have the size.
Yeah, definitely. It would be different. Big time.
Big girls out there.
Up J Tan, and Big Tan is a true story. I played football with a chick in high school, ended up dating her, and Dad hated it because I was fucking the coach's daughter, and she wasn't good, but she tried like a motherfucker. I mean, that's real, especially when you're in high school. There's so many kids that aren't going to make it to the next level. I feel like if you just try hard, a lot of times you'll be good enough to like make these teams. If you got to be somewhat athletic, you can't be like 0%.
Yeah, I remember this chick. She played hockey. She was like a tough chick.
Mm-hmm.
She played hockey. The thing is, you don't think anything of it if she's like a tomboy. Oh yeah, play. Go on. If you can play, you play.
Yeah,
it wasn't a big deal. That was like in the 80s.
Yeah, there you go.
But if they're frail, it's like, come on. You're more worried about their safety than whether they're just competing or not because they're a girl.
Yeah. Fucking Crispy said, bunch of sensitive ball sacks these days. Ball sacks are very sensitive, Crispy. You already know that.
That is true. You just graze them, it hurts.
Yeah.
Graze them the wrong way, right?
You just think about getting hit. Oh, man.
You watch a guy get hit. You feel the pain.
For sure. So, yeah, they're getting ready to leave now after those four don't get picked. And, of course, man, Kevin O'Shea, Al Bundy's got the dope Corvette. He's got Heisman on the license plate, all of that. Just so ridiculous. And Danny comes up. He's pissed. He's pissed. He remembers this. He remembers the exact same thing happening 30 years prior, not being picked. And he's like, did you see their faces? And he was like, and what about Becky? She's better than half these boys out there. And he got real upset when he was like, you know what? Icebox is a girl. Maybe if you started treating her like a girl and like, hey, don't tell me how to raise my daughter. And then, of course, he says, don't tell me how to pick my squad.
Then it was on.
Yeah. And Rick Moranis, he's pissed at this point. He is so pissed, but it's just, you'll thank me tomorrow. He hits him with that line right at the end. And you just kind of want to smack him every time he says that, because it's always after he says something stupid or does something really stupid. I don't like it. And then the mom, they go for they're having dinner now at Kevin O'Shea's house. And the mom is calling him out. Like, why doesn't Becky get to play? And you know why I didn't pick her? It's because she's a girl. And he's like, that's so chauvinist. They could sit on the bench of a major corporation, whatever she said, a whole bunch of different things, but they can't play Pee-wee football. Correct.
They've definitely wrote this with O'Neill in mind for sure.
Yeah.
They just didn't cast. Oh, by the way, I think he'll fit. I think they wrote it for him.
And this is one of those ones because, like, I get to play a high school and college like superstar. Like he's a guy who we don't even know his whole backstory, but I'm assuming that's where it ended. He peaked in college, was a guy that didn't make it to the pros or fell out of the pros, something. He's a townie who's like the biggest celebrity like in his town.
A townie they call?
That's what I think he is. Like he told
No, I've
me.
never heard the term. That's funny. I know what you mean though, exactly, but
Yeah.
that's a new word for me, townie.
Yeah, and especially because we come from big cities. Like that term doesn't even get thrown around too much in the places where we're from. But yeah, he could have done like compared to so many people who get like Danny, for example. He wanted to have a business there. He started a family there. But Kevin, like he'd been places. He'd gone places. Heisman Trophy winner. He'd been everywhere. We don't really know what happened to him. I'd love to hear like the story of like why that's his peak is college, but I guess that's another movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Big Ten said Gravity's a motherfucker on Crispy. Oh man. Crispy. That sucks. Stepped on his ball sack a couple days ago. So it happens when you get real old, right?
Yeah, when they get older, it's like someone's yanking them down. Halfway down your thigh.
Oh man. So then we kind of get to the guys like hideout, all the guys who didn't make the football team.
The B graders.
Yeah, what even is this? Like some like barn or something, like at one of like their friends' houses or something. But yeah, they're just hanging out. And then the Cowboys comes. This is why everybody hates the Cowboys. Cowboys come in there talking shit. Oh, we just wanted to say that we're really sorry you didn't make the team. Then they hit them all with the wedgies. This is why nobody likes the Cowboys, for real. Like,
I know, fuck the Cowboys.
Goes all the way back to this. And but then Icebox, she's just the coolest kid out of all of them. Got a go-kart. They got their bikes, but she's got her go-kart, tracks them all the way down.
She's smashing on them, bro.
Bumping them, making them fall into the river and stuff. And right before she came out here, I mean, the dad, Rick Moranis, is trying to cheer her up and all that. And he was like, if I had a team, I'd pick you. Yeah, sure. And for whatever reason, she says that right at the end. Oh, I can't wait to get you back on the field. You get your chance. We started our own team. This comes out of nowhere.
You know what? She said enough is enough.
She had those thoughts on her mind.
Stop bullshitting, Dad.
She couldn't. What's his name? Sean Murphy. He could not believe it. He's like, what? Well, you're on a team. Who's your coach? My dad.
Boom.
Can't even hold it in. Starts cracking up.
Yeah, live vicariously through me now, Dad.
What's the chances of that she'd be blurting that out?
Yeah.
And that she'd be because she knows she's a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's funny. She gets so pissed. She hits the little skirts out, hits him with the mud, with the tires. Man, all over his face.
Yeah, classic.
Did you know anybody, Bogey, who had like a go-kart like that and they just around anytime?
Yeah, hell yeah. Like we decided the homie that had a go-kart. It was one that didn't have a roll cage at all. It was just a one-seater flat, and it came these small ass little slicks that came out like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was like literally like maybe 4 or 5 inches off the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like we would just walk carrying that shit, me and the homie, and then we would go to the field like super early in the morning or even like late at night. Like, you know what I mean? We used to do this like when we got older, we would throw it in the back of the truck. You know what I'm saying? And because at night you go to the park, and you just whip it. You know what I mean? Especially if there's like condensation on the fucking, like if it's early in the morning, but you have to do it at night. You can only do it for 10, 15 minutes before you got to get up out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody's calling the cops.
Hella loud, right? Ain't no silent motor.
Whipping it, bro. Yeah. Whipping it. And it's on grass, so you ain't tripping it because we've ate it before a hell of times, man.
Yeah. Man, and so we get another glimpse into Al Bundy, aka Kevin O'Shea. So right after that, right after the little scrum between the Cowboys and who ends up being the Little Giants, you see his little Chevy lot. Man, that is such a pimpin' like Chevy lot there. It's got like the end zone, it's got the goalpost, you got the lines on the ground, the 40-yard, the 50-yard, all that. When he sells the car, he autographs the football for them. Like, man, he's living off that celebrity, selling Corvettes and other types of Chevys in town, keeping it American made.
He's the man.
I'd buy a Chevy off of him if I could get a sign.
Isn't that when he says? Is that when he says Butz or the guy who's working with at the car lot? Surprised me today. What? Sell a car.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah.
He's such a lackey, man. That's what I get from him. He's just one of the dumb hang-arounders. Was like probably peaked in high school, but hung around Kevin O'Shea just to make sure. They definitely are butt buddies.
Called out hangers on.
Yeah.
It's like the entourage.
Mm-hmm.
Hangers on.
Hangers on. I like that.
You probably got a couple. Your rappers got them all.
See, here's the thing, though.
Even the videos, there's in the music videos and stuff.
I like that.
The thing, though, we're from the underworld, so if you were around, you meant something. You know what I mean?
Your daddy would even call it out, right? Oh,
yeah, like when I was younger, we would like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially, see, here's the thing is like when other rappers would come and record at my studio, it was always funny because I'd be like, yeah, the more people you brought, yeah, whatever, that's cool because you're gonna get more hours anyway. You're just gonna take longer. You know what I mean? Like when it's really when when I got older, even myself, I'd be like, man, when I'm going to the studio, I want to be locked in. I'm on like if you working, because my dad, he used to call everybody decoration. Dang, like my dad would come to the studio and buy weed off me, even just come through and smoke. You know, but my dad is always the type like, yeah, here's the $20. Give me some there. Right? All right, yeah. And he was the type, he would be in front of everybody. Like, there's a lot of decoration here.
Yeah,
like code for all these motherfuckers that don't matter and you don't need fuck is all these fools doing here? You know what I mean?
They're holding his wallet or something. I don't know what they're doing. They're just hanging out.
They're decoration. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh. Big Ten said, hey, Bogey, does a Viking fit in the music video? Because if it does, I'm your guy.
You know what's funny is my guy AG, we just did a new joint. But you know that one, I actually just said it to you, Nelly. And AG lives out in Vegas. And he was like, for real, let's shoot a video because he shot a video.
I want to be in your video too.
We could, but we got things we're doing already. I don't want to distract it, the whole thing, like, and you know what I'm saying, and like having a video director there and then my guy, and it could get
done. Hangers on, right?
See, we immediately have a whole house full of hangers on it. We could be tight, actually. And the song's hella hard too. You know what I mean?
Kottke said my friend had a go-kart and we're gonna run away in it and go live go live with Obama. Packed it with our trick-or-treat candy. Oh man, savage. And then she said we didn't get off the street.
I don't know if I ever told you guys that when I used to live with those pro athletes, right?
Yeah.
We'd go out to the bars back in the 90s. And then there'd be like 8, 9 of us. I was like the only one that didn't play. And they all hung out with each other than me, but they don't really have a lot of outsiders around them much.
Yeah.
But then we go to the bar, then they order beers, and there's like 10, 20, 15 beers on the bar the whole time. They pull one, just drink. And then you get these people. I remember this one guy specifically would say, hey, I think Scotty, he's had too much to drink. He goes, yeah. And then I go, Scotty, who is that? I don't know. I thought you knew him. I don't know. There's all these strangers that want to hang out with you. And these are dudes, not what women would too. But these are dudes even want to be around that.
Well, you know what's crazy is, okay, look at this. So I'm a Niner fan, and we go out. I'll make a story quick. And then like Alden Smith, so the homies are like, hey, come out to the bar. And by bar, I mean like this after hours underground, like Asian, like basically a strip bar, like a strip club, but it's underground shit. You know what I mean? And you have to get a table and you get bottles and shit like that. And But these spots became popular. Like even like even girls go. Like my girl celebrated a couple of birthdays at these spots. Anyways, we go to the spot and Alden Smith. My boy's there with Alden Smith, and he's when he played for the Niners. And it's crazy because like my boys are all D boy, like real D boys. They throwing money. They trying to boss up, and this dude Alden Smith, he's picking up food's money and redistributing it. You know what I mean? And I was just watching him like, fuck this guy, dude. This guy's a greaseball. You know what I mean? Even though like he was, but then all my guys like, oh, I ain't tripping, but he's drinking all our drinks. And I'm like, yo, but this guy ain't broke $1 and he got all the money. But they all want to stunt Alden Smith, or I'll take pictures with him and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like,
he's been a cheap ass, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. And then we, you know, what was cool too is I have another Alden Smith story, but that's for another day. Because it gets crazy. We're going down a little rabbit hole with Alden Smith. Shout out to Alden. Yeah.
All right, so back to Little Giants here. Okay, now Kevin O'Shea, he leaves after he tells Butz, hey, do me a favor, sell a car. All right, and they're surprised me, sell a car. And then he goes into he's got a little meeting with the mayor or something. I think that's who it is. Inside just the local diner. I'm assuming it's like the one place that everybody goes to eat. And he tells them, we got a little issue here. He said, there's supposed to be one town, one team. But we hear there's a second team. And who's the coach? And then Danny walks in right then and gives him a look. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's super confused, Kevin O'Shea. And then, so Danny comes in. He's about to sit at the counter. And then Icebox comes in, sees Kevin, knows that it's about to go down because she sees the look on Kevin O'Shea's face. And then she runs up to him real quick and she's like, hey, Dad, I took your advice. Me and the guys, we started our own football team. And kisses him and then runs out.
Yeah.
And then Kevin sits like simultaneously as soon as she leaves, Kevin's there. What makes you think that you could coach football?
He's been an asshole.
Real quick, he's pissed. He's there giving these old timers like a play-by-play of like his game-winning drive or something. And like, this is like what he does on a daily basis to like just get his ego stroked. And now Danny's going to come in and try to take over his territory as the coach of the Pee Wee football team. He's pissed. He was like, you couldn't play football. You can't coach football. You couldn't even play football. And he was like, whose fault was that? And he's like, it wasn't my fault. Don't change the subject. He deflects a lot. Did you notice that, Nelson? How like anytime that anything is his fault, he deflects like hella quick.
Yeah, because he knows he's guilty. That's why.
Exactly.
It's also the trait of
pump his ass.
It's also like a common trait of a narcissist. You know what I mean? A narcissist
don't take blame.
It doesn't have the ability to have accountability. You know what I mean? So even everything he does is narcissistic. All the speeches he gives, or even these lectures, like he says he does every day. You know what I mean? It's all, how much do I get to talk about me every day? And then he says, like, what makes you think you're me, basically, is what he says. You know what I mean? When he says, what makes you think you could coach football? Or he said, what makes you think you me, motherfucker?
And this is like the clash of the brothers from like more than 30 years. We just saw a flashback into 30 years. I'm sure it'd been happening their entire life. And he's like, some of us run for touchdowns. Others of us run the class projector. Danny gets so pissed. What the hell's wrong with that? I ran the class projector. He's like, Danny, I'm sure you're a very good projectionist, okay?
Yes, Danny, you suck.
And but yeah, it's funny. He's not backing down. This legit might be the first time that he ever stood up to his brother, and it's for his daughter, so it's a good reason to.
Yeah.
Ooh, 98. We need 2 more subscribers. We're one up again.
Guys, go subscribe.
We're one up again.
Screen breakdowns. Come on YouTube. We're talking about
Silver Screen Breakdowns. We got lots of
drop that link in there.
Link is in the chat. Go subscribe to the Silver Screen Breakdowns YouTube channel. And I think this is a good time to wrap up.
I was about to say that.
Because they're on the mission to form the team. It
starts because they don't even have a team.
Starts with the ragtag bunch. Lucky they got Icebox. In Pee Wee's, you can have one beast, and like you might be all right. You can compete a little bit. And so they got her. They got Hot Hands Hayden. they got Rad Tad Simpson, and they got Rudy. So they got 4 peeps that they're starting with.
Enter montage.
So go subscribe to the podcast as well. Silver Screen Breakdowns on Spotify, on Apple Pod. Go subscribe everywhere that you.
And remember, don't leave. For those that's watching right now, don't leave.
Because we are doing this live. We're recording all 3 acts live.
Yeah.
Big 10 said he subscribed. Let's go.
Go,
yeah, one more.
Come on.
Nelly Nell, let them know.
I'm in LA, Nelson Times. You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram, Nelson Times _. Check me out. And there's a little video. Oh, I gotta send you the footage for that video. Spend my money that I starred in a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Nice song, nice video, nice tune.
Heck
Bogey?
yeah.
Yes, I am Bogard Scott-Free. The Earth is my turf. Universe giving you money. Tune in next time for the next installment, Act 2 of a Silver Screen Breakdown. Little Giants enter, form the team montage.
See you then. Peace out.
Picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.